Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today for our MBL webinar. Today, we'll be talking about parental orders in practice and what you need to know. I'm a specialist family lawyer, and I'm regularly instructed on international and UK surrogacy applications, which see me in the High Court quite regularly, and I deal with a lot of complex and international elements. So today, I hope to share some knowledge with you in terms of the process. So let's move on to what this webinar will cover. Today, we'll cover a brief background of the surrogacy in the UK at the moment, the criteria for a parental order, the court process, what to include within a witness statement in support of your parental order, the role of a parental order reporter, and alternatives to a parental order when the parental order is unavailable and cannot be made for whatever reason. I'll also be ending this webinar on the Law Commission's final recommendation and what this means in practice, and the current status and the future of surrogacy law in the UK. I'm sure all of you watching this seminar will know what surrogacy is, but just to recap, surrogacy is an arrangement where a woman, the surrogate, agrees to carry and birth a child for another person or couple, the intended parents. It is often pursued when intended parents cannot conceive or carry pregnancy themselves due to medical, biological, or personal reasons. There's different types of surrogacy arrangements. Surrogacy is either partial or total. Partial surrogacy is where the surrogate mother, the mother who gives birth to the child, is the genetic mother. So her own egg is fertilized by sperm, usually of one of the commissioning parents. Total surrogacy is where the surrogate is not the genetic mother of the child, but instead receives an egg from a donor into her womb, which is already fertilized or is then fertilized with the sperm of the commissioning father. Once the baby is born, the route to legal parenthood is through a parental order, which is what today's webinar will be going through. And whilst it is similar to adoption in that it extinguishes the parental status of the surrogate and her husband, if applicable, and places favour with the intended parents, the key difference between parental order and an adoption order is that an adoption order replaces parental status when birth parents are unable to care for the child for whatever reason, whereas the parental order is intended to reflect the parental status as it always was intended. This is a subtle but very significant distinction to know, especially when you're dealing with clients who want to apply for parental order. Language is very important. So essentially, a parental order is a bespoke order that must be sought for children born through surrogacy to confer parental rights on the intended parents and extinguish the surrogate's parental rights.